Yo, what's happening, people? I'm back again with another top five Arsenal signings, and I'm gonna go straight in at number five. One of the greatest Arsenal signings is Aaron Ramsey. Bought him for good price, cheap price. I think it was about £5 million from Cardiff in the Championship, and he went on to be a brilliant Arsenal player. I'm not the biggest Aaron Ramsey fan, but I can see the impact he made coming as a young person into the squad and making it all the way through. It's difficult to do. Not everyone does it successfully. But to go on and now play for one of the greatest European sides ever in Juventus just shows the mantra of the guy. And a big player for us, scoring in big cup finals, winning us some big trophies. Ramsey at a young player to come in like that, he has to go in as one of our greatest signings. In at number four, I'm going to go with Nicolas Anelka. Now, there's a lot of things about signings, like what do you judge it on? Is it about the sell-on price? Is it about how well they've done? Anelka goes in as one of them sell-on price ones. Bought him for very cheap from PSG, a couple of £1 million. Didn't succeed as well as we thought he would. He did have one great season, but there's a lot of problems with him and the manager, him not feeling comfortable here, wanting to go again, and as you've seen throughout his career, wanted to just bounce around, and ended up selling him for a great price a couple of years later, and also producing out of him. We managed to get the greatest striker to ever play for Arsenal, in Thierry Henry. So I want to say a special thank you for Nicolas Anelka for coming to Arsenal so we can make money and then get Thierry Henry, so thank you. In at number three, one that might surprise you, Alexis Sanchez. I'm going with Sanchez. The reason being, again, it's difficult to judge what you judge it on, but for me, he came in for a big price tag and a lot to prove, and he came in and he absolutely smashed it at Arsenal. Just no matter what you think of the guy as a person, where he went afterwards, forget it. As a player, came in with big price tag for Barcelona after Udinese was so good, and one of our best players, and he was absolutely magnificent when he came. Scored a lot of goals as a striker and as a winger, and really lifted Arsenal at a time when we needed to be lifted because things weren't really happening for us. And it was a big signing for us, and he made a massive impact at Arsenal. Ended up being quite successful as a player at Arsenal, winning trophies here, and then moving on. So yeah, Alexis Sanchez comes in at number three. At number two, again, it's a tough one, but I'm going to go with Patrick Vieira. Brought in by Arsene Wenger in the reserves at AC Milan, and not really sure where his career was going to go, and then becoming one of the greatest midfielders the Premier League has ever seen, especially from a foreign player. His box-to-box, his pressing style, his leadership in the dressing room and on the pitch. Magnificent footballer. And what a steal that we managed to get him so cheap from AC Milan. Of course, he had to leave in the end. Went back to Italy. But you know what? His time at Arsenal was definitely successful. And Arsene Wenger managed to get one of the greatest players in for a good price. From the bench of one of the greatest teams at the time in Italy of AC Milan. So yeah, man, Patrick Vieira, I've got to give you a props. You're up there, man. You're number two for me. And number one, and I don't think many would disagree with me, has to be the biggest probably shock signing of this century still, and that's Sol Campbell. Sol Campbell leaving Spurs on a Bosman and a free transfer after saying he was going to stay. He left and he came to the best club side in North London, which is Arsenal. And what a steal it was from David Dein. He said there was a big part of him for coming, and to Arsene Wenger for obviously bringing him in as well. And to go on to be a magnificent defender for Arsenal, scoring in Champions League finals, going the season unbeaten, winning the league at White Hart Lane. Unbelievable story. If you tell your kids that someone did that, in this day and age, they would never believe you. But that happened. So Sol Campbell on a free transfer from Spurs has got to be Arsenal's greatest ever signing, and what an impact it made in English football, man. And Spurs fans will tell you, He's one of your greatest ever players. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Guys, thanks for listening. We'll see you soon.